What's good, everybody? My name's Brandon. Right here's Christian, studying his butt off. And today we're going on to continue of vlog 2 into today. So, the first vlog, just to recap, we went over the first two, bless you, we went over the first two things of PRO, the acronym of PRO, which was previewing and reading actively. We went over that in the first vlog, so if you didn't catch it, go ahead and check that one out. Today we're going to go over the last two, which is reflect and organize, and it has the acronym of SURE, which we'll explain in a little bit. So I'm going to have Christian go ahead and reflect what we've been reading, which is called, again, The Absolute True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. So yeah, Christian, go ahead and take it over. What have you been
Okay,
reading?
perfect. With this book, um, let me see. All right, with the book, I'm reading about this Indian named Junior. He basically, this book is covered in the dreams that he had of making big decisions and leaving the reservoir. He relates a lot that even his sister, I guess, she got married and she was making big decisions too to live in Montana with her boyfriend. So with this, it's more of I would say this book is talking. It's centered around young people with big dreams. That no matter what tradition they have or that their parents follow, they want to change it and are willing to do whatever it takes to find that paradise for them. And that's what he's trying to do. He's in an all white school outside of the reservoir, and he's having some pretty interesting experience passing with him. He had a new friend that's probably like what we refer to as nerds, but those people, they make a lot of money at the end. And he also met a girl named Penelope that he's getting to know. With that, it's a lot of reflection, like how I look at it. I think a lot of it we feel the same thing as young adults. We we are always thinking about what could be, what if, and I'm kind of interested in this book because it kind of relates to how I kind of look at the world. Like, usually, most of my questions, like, I like to travel. I've been to Ecuador, that Mrs. B, you already know that already. And, and it interests me. It interests me that as young people, we do have an adventurous mind. And this book, it relates to me because he has the same thing. That he's looking for something different and something better, that he believes it's better. And he's doing whatever it takes to do it, and he's determined. And I believe, for young adults to be successful in life, we have to be determined in that dream. And yeah, and I'm starting to really like this book and going over it, reading it, and that I think one of the biggest lessons I can learn from this is that even in the moment that we are now, it's an adventure for us. We're learning new things, and our ideas and plans, they're not always exactly how they turn out to be. And now I can know why a lot of people like this book. So what I just say is what I just say is that either way we have that goal, we shouldn't be afraid of change, and we should always be determined to go with it. So if I know that was out of topic a little bit, but with Junior, he's a pretty determined kid. He has a pretty good idea of what he wants in life, but he's willing to change it as well. And with it, he's learning new things as he's growing up. So it's pretty much the life of an average kid, I believe. So that's how I have in this reflection.
And to clarify, really, we haven't finished the book yet. We finished most of the chapters by now. We're about halfway through. And what Christian said is right. I've read the same things, and it is a story about a kid growing up in a society that necessarily doesn't believe in what he believes in. And it's kind of like today's day and age. So you can add in your own, experiences and reflect on how you were as a kid and you were growing up looking at young girls or young women, and we can do it to today's age. We're 21 now and in college. We still do kind of the same things. Life is different now, but it's still relatable. As the story keeps continuing, we can make it more and more relatable to us. And reflecting again, kind of going off topic, but it looking back at most of our lives as kids, we wouldn't have imagined where we are today because the events that happened prior make us today, like who we are today. And on that note, we're going to end that one. And we're going to move on to the O in pro, which means organize. And to be more specific on organize, they have an acronym that spells out SURE, which is SURE. And the S in SURE represents select the facts you need to know, identify the topic, the main idea, and the important supporting points. Identify thought patterns and relationships between ideas, recognize the author's purpose, and understand inferences, and also evaluate facts versus opinion. Through the book, it's mostly opinions because this is a diary that was published. So I don't know if Sherman Alexie is the owner of the diary or he had this idea to put this kid's journal in a diary, which I'm pretty sure it is because he's using third party names unless he wants to keep identities confidential. Um, so by doing all these things in a chapter or a login, pretty much is what he's doing since it's a diary. You find the topic and the main idea within the first two sentences of the paragraphs. The important supporting points in books are usually the continuations of bodies and all that good stuff. Okay, now moving on to the U, which is use the materials you've selected, summarize and paraphrase, underline and annotate text, answer preview questions you jotted in the margins while you were reading, instructor questions at the end of the chapter, and others. By that, taking it a step further and talking to the text, like we explained in the first video. Uh, you just keep annotating, keep questioning why he's thinking this way, or relate it to how you were thinking as Junior's age, which I'm guessing is preteen, so around 12 or 13. So question yourself and see why, if you were thinking that way, if you were acting that way. And okay, in going to that, R is to the R is recite the information, self-test, present this information to others, apply the information in some meaningful way, analyze, synthesize, and evaluate what you've learned. Use this information to purpose solutions to problems. By this, it's saying the same thing I've been saying. It's just analyze yourself and while you're reading, keep questioning yourself. Um, by doing this, you're getting more of an understanding for the book as long as you keep annotating, keep questioning, maybe reflecting again on what you've done in the past. And then E stands for examine yourself periodically, review, do this regularly is more of a suggestion on the do this regularly. But it's really good to examine yourself periodically. So try to, when you move on to different chapters, you should test yourself. Okay, what did Junior do here in this chapter, and see if you answered it correctly or not. And there's other ways to examine yourself in this, and maybe give a test question for the next chapter. Okay, since excuse me, this chapter and here, what is it going to go to next? Keep questioning because it keeps you interested in the book. And this video has gone a little bit too long, but Miss B, we do this all for you. And that's pretty much all Pro really is the first two, previewing the reading and reading actively, which is annotating and everything like that, reflecting on what Christian was going upon, and then what I was going upon was organizing and using the proper way of sure for this particular group. So on that note, do you have
Yeah,
anything?
with the whole thing, what we are learning from Pro, we were talking before the video started, is that when we use Pro in a book, we are relating in what's happening to the story. I believe we get more of an image of understanding what's going on with the characters in there. And many times in books as well, when we get lost in them, when they're actually pretty good books, and we start there, I believe in every book there's interesting parts, and with that we get to understand the character's personality, and with it we relate it in our lives a lot. So for understanding a book that we've never read before, Pro is an effective way for us to get first an idea of it with the cover and the introduction, but as well it's a useful tool for us to really get the overall feeling and understanding of what's the message in this book. So, Mrs. V, I believe this is correct. Pro is an effective way to get a great understanding of a book, and really it helps us learn more information in life as well, and what other people think of a one situation in one area in life. So, thank you, and I hope you understand everything that we've done. Right.
Okay, thank you for tuning in this week. I'm gonna kind of go over this again. Uh, Thank you for tuning in this week. We'll be back next week for the last vlog for Pro for us. Um, you know, this is Brandon and Christian signing off. Have a good day.